Good evening, everyone. Shit hits the fan here. Tried to go live today on Sunday, like last week, but my internet doesn't want to work with me today, so we're just going to do the video the old-fashioned way here. So, with everything going on right now, the storms, really ugly, pretty bad. So I figured I'd come up with a video, kind of help you guys out if you're in that situation. So tonight we're going to cover, we'll call it emergency or bug-out vehicle. So your vehicle that you have when you're at work or you're out and you got to get home for whatever reason. And it could be there's a storm coming. You didn't think the storm was going to be that bad and it hit and you're flooding. You got to get to your house or whatever the case may be. So we'll call it bug-out vehicle for the sake of this, but it's your everyday driver. So what is that? It's a vehicle equipped to ensure your survival in case of an emergency or an evacuation or an SHTF or whatever. Basically, it's the vehicle you're in every day. Couple things to consider. So, is it reliable? Obviously. If it's not reliable, you're going to have to either be really good at fixing it or hopefully come up with something or get a newer vehicle if you can do it. What's the storage capacity? Especially for like your essential gear. If you don't have that option and your reliable vehicle is what it is, then you're going to have to build your kit around your space. So a lot of the stuff I talk about now, just take it in that context of whether you have room for it or you don't, or you're going to have to get a different item or something like that. And then a big one with me is adaptability for various scenarios. So urban, rural, wilderness, basically anything. So 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. You got to look at what you have versus what you need, depending on your situation and where you live. Where I live, 4-wheel drive and all-wheel drive is a must. You won't make it up the road. So in my family, we have to have at least all-wheel drive, if not 4-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive SUVs or 4-wheel drive trucks. So some essential vehicle modifications and maintenance things that you may want to do. So all your regular preventive maintenance. So oil changes, brakes, checking on that stuff every time you go in. For an oil change, have them check everything. Making sure you have serviceable tires. If your tires look crappy, get new tires. 1, you need to do it for your safety anyway, but 2, it should be part of your survival plan. And if you do live rural, so you're driving up and down, class 5, class 6 roads, you may want to look at getting updated suspension, because you're going to just beat the crap out of it. Fuel. We'll talk about fuel. So fuel considerations. Do you carry extra fuel in your vehicle or not? And if you don't, at the bare minimum, do you at least have like a gas can, 5-gallon gas can? Again, depending on your size, 2.5-gallon gas can, something to try to get gas if you need it. But if you know there's going to be an issue, obviously carrying extra gas is applicable. Like for me, I have a truck with a cap on the back. I could carry extra gases. It's not a problem. Somebody that's bug-out vehicle may be like a Subaru 5-door. Probably not going to want to smell the gas. So having at least a container is better than nothing. But at the same time, you don't want to let your tank get past half full anyway. You hit half. If you can, fill it up. Hit half, fill it up. You do that, you're always going to have enough gas. And that's really it. I mean, it's either, the half tank or extra gas, really. So now let's get into a little bit of like survival gear. So again, I'm going to read off some stuff. Keep in mind, I'm from New England, New Hampshire. So some of the stuff I say may not be applicable, but some of the stuff may be nice to have anyway if you have the room or the space. So you got to think shelter. Like for me, if I couldn't get home and I had to stop and it's a storm, that's the reason why I have a 4-wheel drive truck with a cap on the back. My shelter can be the cap. I can pull over. I don't have to leave my vehicle anywhere. At least how I have it set up is I can pull off the road back into some type of tree line if I can, cover the front of my vehicle with a cami net, and I can sleep in the back. Not perfect, but it's something. On top of that, I have tarps, a 2-man tent, and a bivy sack, all 3 inside of my vehicle. So again, I've got different layers of my preparedness. So inside of my bag, I've got my tarp and my bivy. If I need my tent, I could strap it on my pack on the way if I needed to, but at that point, I'm probably just gonna ditch it. I don't want to carry the weight. Sleeping bag, make sure it's rated for your climate. For me, I have a military sleep system, so I just keep that in my truck. So it doesn't really matter. I can have that below 0 and be fine. Or I don't have to carry it all. So my kit for my vehicle, basically, I have a lot of stuff in my truck. I have my Bugout bag or my get home bag. And if I have to leave my truck, I'm going to take that time and strip stuff or take stuff. If I don't have the time, meaning I'm stopped in, I couldn't get out of the city, because where I live is, where I work, is, it's like, it's all industry. So if I can't get out of there and I'm on foot, if I have the time, I'll do it. If I don't, my bag is ready to go as is. And I can suck it up and hoof my ass home. About 30 miles for me, so it's 2 days at least. And you want to make sure you have some type of like sleeping mat or inflatable pad. I have a one of the Marine Corps fold-up pads in my, right on my pack. So if I could bring it, or I could dump it, or I could cut it up, or I could use it for something else. But that's what I have. You want to make sure you have fire-making supplies. So like the Bic lighter, any kind of lighter, Zippo, whatever you have. But Bics are cheap. Waterproof matches, and a ferro rod. I like to have the ferro rod, the matches, and the lighter. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's not heavy. On top of that, you're going to need to have tinder. So you can have dryer lint. You can have cotton balls of Vaseline. That works good. I have that. Or you can have commercial fire starters. There's some really good ones out there. I also have those in my kit too, if I don't want to wait. So again, I try to have multiple levels of stuff. So, if I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to start a fire with a bow, I'm in big trouble. The last thing is that I like to put in there is a camp stove, if you can. I mean, they're really light these days, so I have one that just screws right on the end of the of a can, and or a little 5-pounder. They're like $30, so I have that in case I need it, and it's in my pack. Water and hydration. So water storage. So in my truck, I have 2 of the military 5-gallon water jugs, and I also have almost a gallon of water. We'll call it a gallon of water inside of my pack. And that's heavy, so trust me. But that's why you lift weights, work out, right? So again, if I have to stop, I have plenty of water. Or if I have to help people, I have plenty of water without even touching mine. I also have multiple filters. So I have what do you call it? Catadine filter in my pack. I have Life Straw in my pack, and a Sawyer in my pack. And I have backup Life Straw and a backup Sawyer in my truck. I have a water kit in my truck. And I also have water purification tablets. So water, I think you got to have all that stuff. I mean, it's cheap enough. If you wait for like Amazon, you can get Sawyers and Life Straws pretty cheap when they do their Amazon sales. And water purification tablets are cheap anyway. Food. So I'll kind of cover how I do it. So I have 3 days of food and snacks in my bag. So if I have to grab my bag, I'm good for 3 days. What that is I have MREs that I make myself because I have a harvest right, so I make my own MREs. Regular protein bars. I have little packs of honey, little packs of peanut butter, and then I carry the MRE wheat snack breads and pound cakes. So I got a bunch of that inside my pack, at least 3 days worth, maybe even a little bit more. Inside of my truck, I have a bin in the back, and I have just a whole lot of the same stuff there, stacked up high. So again, if I need to resupply myself, if I get stopped and I can't get out, I'm good. Or if I have to pull over for whatever reason and spend the night, I don't have to touch what's in my pack. So my goal is to have enough stuff so I don't have to open my pack until I get home. So that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, there's some beef jerky. There's a few things in there, but it's definitely 3+ days in my pack, and it's a lot in my trunk. And I also have, like I said, I have that small stove, so I have like a little mess kit in my truck and utensils. In my pack, like, I don't got time. I'm trying to eat what I can, and if I do have to stop, I'm either going to eat, I'm going to rehydrate it with cold water, or I'm going to feel safe enough to use my stove. But my plan is not to have any kind of fire at all, even in the winter on the whole way home, if I have to go on foot. And in the winter, I do add snowshoes, which I'm not going to cover here, but in my outline at least. So I do have snowshoes and poles that go in my truck for the winter. First aid kit and security. So I'm going to cover a bunch of stuff. So I have a IFAC on my kit inside of my bag. So I have we'll call it the self-defense bag. So inside of my bag, I have a battle rifle because my pistol's always on me, my belt, and I do have, if I need it, plates, and so plate carrier, and my mag with all my mags and all my stuff's on it. So pretty much have a combat load in my truck. Some people think that's overkill. I don't. I also have in the front of my truck, I'll have my pistol on me, and if it did get ugly, I would pull my rifle up onto the front seat, passenger seat. But I've got bear spray and pepper spray, just in case I got to spray people off my vehicle or make a hole. I do carry, I do have a gas mask and riot filter and an NBC filter. I do have N95 mask, gloves, and eye protection if needed, not for COVID, just for any real reason. I do have pretty sturdy tactical gloves as well as my boots. So all that's inside that bag. If I pull the bag up, it's go time. Okay, next is going to be lighting and power. So I've got a couple headlamps, flashlights, tactical lights, light them, one I carry every day, then one on my rifle, then one in my pack, and I got extra batteries across the board. I have a solar charger with panel, Goal Zero Nomad. But I've got the Nomad with the battery pack and the double and AAA battery capability of charging inside the Nomad. I have signal flares and chem lights. So I have a SOP for when I get closer to my house with my family with the chem lights. So I actually have IR chem lights and regular green chem lights, like I said, as well as the flares. And I have a panel too, but I'm never going to use that. So that's the lighting and power. Hygiene and sanitation. Obviously wet wipes, hand sanitizer. I did some hand soap in my truck. I don't have a portable toilet or anything. I have an e-tool to dig a hole and then go to the bathroom. I do have a portable battery pack in my vehicle, and I have a way to jumpstart my vehicle. Toothbrush, toothpaste, have all that stuff. And I got multiple trash bags in my bag, and I also have a roll of like the 13-gallon trash bags, just in case. Like I said, if I have to stop, I'm planning on bagging up all my trash and throwing it in the back of my truck as I move out of there. You got to have all that stuff. Even though it's a couple of days, I still want to be able to brush my teeth and everything. Documentation and cash would be the next one. So you want to have copies of all your important documents, so your ID, insurance, vehicle registration. You're going to want to make sure you have cash. So for me, it's small denomination cash. 1s, 5s, 20s, that's as high as you go. Some regular pocket change just in case. And then I carry some silver. So I have like 5 silver eagles and 5 bullion coins, just in case. Another thing I have is a laminated list of all my emergency contacts. I keep that on me. I try to memorize the important ones, but it's only a few that I'll need, just in case. Now we'll talk about navigation and communication. So for navigation, I have paper maps, so that's the road and the topographical maps, as well as I have a compass and a GPS. So my truck has a GPS, I have a GPS, and I have a compass. So I keep 2 compasses. I have one Lenzetic compass that stays inside my kit, and then I have a compass for regular direction, north, south, east, west, direction on my watch. So if I have to just use bearing, I can use my watch. If I have to actually get out there and use my Lenzetic compass, I can do that too. I have protractors, map pens, everything associated with finding out where I am if I need to. Okay, I'm also a ham radio operator, so I have a ham radio, I have GMRS, and I have CV inside of my truck, as well as a scanner. I also have a portable hand scanner, and then my HT or my handheld can do all band, so if I need to transmit on it in an emergency, I can. And I have a 50-watt radio, UHF, VHF in my truck. As well as, like I said, the CV, and it's a 40-watt, I believe, GMRS base rig. So I can, while I'm driving, I have an internal comms plan with, my people. And I got plenty of capability, and if I have to go on foot, I also have capability. I also have a portable antenna that I can put up in the tree so I can get more range. And I can listen to NOAA weather. I can basically listen to anything if I need to. I don't have HF capabilities in my truck at all. If I travel outside of that 30-mile range, I do bring a bigger comm box with me in case I need that. But just for going to and from work or around my neighborhood or errands, I don't have HF in my truck. A couple other things is vehicle tools. So I do have a bunch of different stuff I have in there. So I have your basic tool set for, fixing my truck. Everything to change my tire, pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, all that stuff. I have multiple tire repair kits that are different kinds, as well as a little air compressor, jumper cables. I do have a jump pack, like I said before. I do carry extra fluids just in case. I also have a couple different hoses just in case, and a serpentine belt. I keep everything. I do have toe straps, D-rings. I don't have a winch on my truck, but I do keep regular tools too. Like I have 2 different shovels, an axe and a hatchet, a folding saw. All that's for clearing debris or fire making or any of that kind of stuff. I got traction boards in case I get stuck in the snow or in the sand. And I do have bolt cutters in case and a pry bar, big ones, in case I got to get in something. So if I'm bugging out or I'm getting home or whatever, I'll do what I got to do. Nothing is off limits to me to get home to my wife. Okay. A few more things here. So I did want to cover climate. So for me, like I said, we have 4 seasons. So I keep winter boots and a winter jacket and gloves and a hat and a face mask and all the stuff I would need in the winter. I just bought some old Milsurp stuff, and it just sits in my truck in a bin in the back of my truck all year. So if you need that, if you need winter stuff, I would highly recommend doing the same thing. Get some military surplus stuff and just leave it in your truck, because you may not have what you need depending on when the season changes, and you don't want to be stuck out without that stuff. So I just keep it in my truck. And then once fall hits, I put it in my pack or strap it to my pack. So if it's not fall, it's there. If it is fall, it's in the pack. If you're like in a desert environment, that's obviously different. If you're in a big mountain environment, that's going to be different. It just depends on where you live. But in New England, like I said, you got to have that stuff. Some other things to consider are whether you're urban or rural. If you're urban, you're going to have to focus on stealth, navigation, and escape routes. Those are the 3 things I always tell people. If you got to worry about that. And if you're in a rural or a wilderness area, it's more long-term survival gear, hunting stuff, and things like that. If you're going to carry extra gear inside of your vehicle, that would be it. The last thing I will say that I have is I have night vision, and my night vision stays in my kit, and I have the ability and the training to operate my vehicle with my night vision on. So if you have night vision, I highly recommend you figure out a way to drive at least with your lights off and your night vision on. Because if it's real bad and you got to break contact, at a bare minimum, you shut your headlights off and haul ass, you got a better chance. So if you have night vision, that's up to you if you want to carry every day or not. I don't leave my night vision in my vehicle. It comes in and out with me every single day inside of my bag. And just in closing, a couple things. So we covered like a high level items you would need. I didn't kind of break down the whole what's in the bag thing. I'm going to do that coming up. But all the stuff I kind of went over with you is what I do and what I have. It may not be what you need depending on where you live, but I just try to give you an idea of how I do it, and you can take it, modify it, or just do something different. That's up to you, but you know, it's your survival. Make sure that you're doing your maintenance again on your vehicle. You don't want to break down when you need it. And make sure you know where everything is. That's the other big one. Make sure you know where everything is inside of your vehicle. And check it. So you can set on your calendar every 90 days, every 6 months, once a year. I would say once a year is too long, but you know, every 6 months at least, you go through that stuff, rotate your water, check your food, make sure everything's good. Because you don't want to get all pumped up one day. Oh, I watched Shit Hits the Fan's video, and now I'm going to go prep my vehicle, and then leave like that for 2 years. It's really, you might as well do nothing. So I would say just make sure that you're checking and rotating everything. And that's the water inside of your jugs. So if you have water inside of your jugs in your vehicle, I always like to dump it out and just refill it with new water. It's all part of making sure you keep all your stuff rotated and fresh. So with all that, that's all I have. Just checking on my outline here. Hopefully you found what I'm saying a little bit helpful. If you are watching it till the end here, I appreciate it. If you could, like and subscribe. I'm on Rumble at Eldridge USMC, YouTube at Shit Hits the Fan _ New Hampshire NH, X same Shit Hits the Fan _ NH. Those are the 3 main platforms I'm on. Oh, and Instagram too. If you want to look at the stupid stuff I post on there, Shit Hits the Fan _ NH for New Hampshire. I appreciate it. Any comments or anything, again, you can hit me up. I'm pretty active at any time I'm free, and any of my breaks at work or anything, I'm going to be on at least X. So you can always message me there, tag me there, comment on the video, and like and subscribe. That would be awesome. I really appreciate it. But with that, this is Shit Hits the Fan. I'm going to take off for the night and keep prepping.